When I pulled up, there were probably 20 people outside the emergency room in blood-stained clothes. The one thing I remember walking into the emergency room was that the floor was just coated in blood. I just never fathomed that it would have been this mass casualty that occurred that day.
The event that happened on July 4th in Highland Park, I was with my family on Central Avenue, which is one of the main streets in Highland Park. We were about 3.5 blocks away from where the shooting occurred. And at the point where I realized that something had happened, not knowing at that point that it was a shooting, was when we saw individuals that were participating in the parade running towards us.
So around 10 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call from one of our surgical PAs, which is a physician's assistant. And she was in the emergency room at Highland Park. And she called me up and she said, Dr. Agos, please, can you come in and help us? We have 5 patients here with, multiple gunshot wounds.
Most rooms were filled with a patient who had been shot. So the physician assistant, the other physician assistant, and I would walk past each room, pretty much evaluate, is the person stable or are they dying? And then act based on that. We split up the patients between the emergency room physicians, the physician assistants, and some of the surgeons.
I think the way the staff, physicians, those in the community came together to try to help those that were injured really did help bring the Highland Park community and many of the surrounding villages, towns together as well. There was a lot of outpouring of support for those that were injured, and not just those that were shot, but even those that were witnesses to the violence who have to deal with the post-traumatic stress that comes with that, the anxiety, provoking some people even to depression. And the way the community has come together to support everyone who may have been affected, I think, really shows how much our communities care.
I had dealt with gunshot wounds and actually multiple people with gunshot wounds at once, but never in the realm of 30 plus patients. And actually I had an experience with one patient, and I'll never forget it. He had an injury to his back, a wound. His father was in the room, and my customary practice is to have families step outside of the room. They don't need to see a lot of what we're going to do and what we're going to expose. It can be very graphic. I asked the father to kindly step out of the room while we examine his son. And he said to me, please save my son. And it really affected me. I mean, I have children, and I'll never forget the look of fear in his face.
As citizens of this country, we need to be looking about how we can help others and really trying to just get a community feeling so that we can try to make sure that the resources are available so that we don't have people that get to the point where their mental health, along with access to these types of weapons, leads to these types of events. We all need to kind of look out for each other and try to figure out how we can help people in this world and support them so we don't get to this point.